Hi guys, it's Perkins here. Today we're going to be looking at lesson 13 of module 6 for math. So we're going to start off today with our application problem. The application problem is in your math workbook with the blue, and it's on page 73. Please go ahead now and find page 73 in your math workbook with the blue and move your flag there. Of course, if at any time you need to pause the video, you may. And the friends that are at school that are not online, the sub will pause it for you. Just make sure you ask her to do that for you. So now, I'm going to read it. It says, Julio read 6 books this week. Emmy read 12 books this week. There is a whole bunch of different parts. There's 1, 2, 3 different questions that we have to answer. So I'm going to read all 3 one time, and then we're just going to kind of make it a little bit shorter. Okay, and only read each question while we're trying to answer it. So the 3 questions are, it says A, how many fewer books did Julio read than Emmy? B, how many books did they read in all? Or C, how many more books does Julio have to read so that he has read 1 more book than Emmy? Okay, so let's just go back to the very top where it tells us the important information. All right, so it says, Julio read 6 books this week, and Emmy read 12 books this week. Well, let's talk about what is some important information in this word problem. So, like, what is the word problem telling us? It'd be a good idea to pause the video right here and talk about what is the important information in these 2 sentences. Remember, the 2 sentences are Julio read 6 books this week and Emmy read 12 books this week. What is some important information in these sentences? Again, you may pause the video now. All right, so yes, the important information is that Julio read 6 books this week and Emmy read 12 books this week. Well, we're going to be comparing these 2 people's books that they read. So I'm going to have to put a J for Julio. And we know that he read 6 books. So we're going to put 6. We're going to draw 6 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll box it in. This is his 6. He doesn't get any more than 6. And we know that Emmy read 12 books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we read 12, didn't get any more than that. Now we have the important information drawn. Let's go ahead and we're going to answer the first question. The first question says, how many fewer books did Julio read than Emmy? Well, how are we going to have to figure this out? How many fewer books did Julio read than Emmy? Well, it says how many fewer. Now, how many fewer, they're telling us that we're going to compare. Whenever we're comparing, we know that we are going to be subtracting. So we're going to have to subtract. Well, how many books does Julio have? How many fewer books did Julio read than Emmy? Well, we know that Julio read 6, Emmy read 12. Well, how many do they have in common? Right, they have 6. Julio has 6, and inside this 12 for Emmy, there is 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have to draw a line showing the 6. And this right here is going to be how many fewer they have. Well, let's do our number sentence first. So what is our number sentence? I would like you to go ahead and pause the video now to be able to discuss and be able to write what you think the number sentence is. And then we'll go over it together. All right, so now we knew that whenever we were comparing, that we were subtracting, we were taking away. So for this, we knew that we were going to be subtracting. Now remember, we already put Julio's 6 inside of Emmy's. So we've already used Julio. So I put a check right there showing that you don't use Julios anymore. You're just using Emmys now. So like I said, we were subtracting. So when we're subtracting, it's your whole minus your part equals your other part. So 12 is our whole minus 6 equals, what is our, equals mystery box. So what is our mystery? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Now if you did an addition sentence, then it would be 6 plus 6 equals 12. But since I said we're comparing, that means you're subtracting. So we finished A. So if you want to, you can put a little check on A. It's telling us that we finished figuring out that one. And then B says, how many books did they read in all? Well, what do we have to do to figure out how many books they read in all? I want you to go ahead and pause the video and discuss what do we have to do to figure out how many books they read in all. All right, well, I see where it says in all right here. Remember, in all is another way to tell us that we're adding. We have to find the whole. So we know that Julio had 6 and Emmy had 12. Well, we have to add those together. We have to add the 6 plus 12 equals mystery box. Now, it doesn't match our type diagrams, and that is okay, because we don't have a whole bunch of space to do all of these different type diagrams, but we're still just going to answer the questions. So what is 6 plus 12? Well, you could count all of them if you need to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Or you could say, well, 6 plus 12. 12 has 1 10. Then there's 6 ones and 2 ones. So 6 plus 2 equals 8. That's 18. So now that is B. They read 18 books in all. All right, so now C. It says, how many more books does Julio have to read so that he has one more book than Emmy? So how many more books would Julio have to read so that he would have one more book than Emmy? Well, we know that Julio has 6 right now. Emmy has 12. Well, how many more books would he have to read to where he would have read one more book than Emmy? Well, looking at this, kind of change my color to where we could see it. This is Julio's. Julio has 6. Well, to make it, and Emmy has 12. Well, we want Julio to have one more than Emmy. Well, Emmy has 12 right now. What is one more than 12? 13, right? So we have to figure out how many more books would Julio have to read to make it 13. So Julio has 6 right now, plus how many more would he have to read to make 13? 6 plus 4 equals 13. And we can count on for this. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, it's 7. So now we have finished all 3 of these. So now we're going to do the statement. So now the statement, I'm going to read the question. I want you to take a moment to write your statement for the last one. Maybe you can pause it. After I finish reading the question, you can pause it to give yourself a chance to write your own statement. And then I will show you one statement that you could have written. So the question is, how many more books does Julio have to read so that he has read one more book than Emmy? You can pause it now. All right, one thing that you could have said is that Julio would have to read 7 more books. Period. All right, that's it. All right, so now the next thing is that you're going to move your flag to your problem set. So just turn to page, well, actually, you should already be on that page because your statement was on the back. So you move your flag to page 75, please. Move your flag to page 75. You can go ahead and put your workbook away. All right, so now moving on to our number talk. So now looking at this, I want you to think about how could we solve 36 plus 18 plus 102? I want you to go ahead and pause the video, and I want you to go ahead and solve 36 plus 18 plus 102. Don't do any of the expression at the bottom just yet. Just talk about with somebody that, the ones that are virtual, talk with someone that's with you, how you could solve it. My friends that are in school, the sub will call on some of you to say how you could solve this. Remember, 36 plus 18 plus 102. You can go ahead and pause the video now. All right, so I'm just going to show you one way that you could have solved it till we can do our, talk about some of these expressions. So I see that there's 6 ones, 8 ones, 2 ones. Well, I know that 8 ones and 2 ones can make a new 10. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to break apart my 18 and my 102. 102 is 100, and then 2. 18 is 10, 8. So I'm going to add that 8 and that 2 together to make it 10. So now I have 100 and 10 to add together. Well, 100 plus 10 equals 110. Now I have to add 110 plus 10 together. What equals, well, there's 100. There's 110 plus 2, 110 plus 110 equals 2 tens plus 0 ones, so it's 120. So I have to add 120 to 136. So let me remake this number sentence again. So now looking at this, I see that there is 100. There's 2 tens, 3, and 3 tens. Well, 2 tens plus 3 tens. 2 plus 3 equals 5 tens. And then 0 ones plus 6 ones. Or 0 plus 6 equals 6. Now this is just one way that you could have solved it. Of course, I know that probably a lot of you did different ways, and that is great. I was just showing you this way that you could have done it. So I'm going to stick with the expression 120 plus 36. Whoopsies, give me 1 second. $120 plus 36. So now we could do some expressions to match this. Now remember, I want 2 for each. 2 for is less than, 2 for is greater than, 2 for is equal to. I want you to go ahead and pause the video now, and my virtual friends, go ahead and talk to someone that is with you at home about what is an expression that could go for each. My friends that are in class, the sub is going to call on some of you to give an expression for one of those. Now remember, you say the expression that I've given to you, say 120 plus 36, then say is less than, is greater than, or is equal to, whichever one you choose. Then say the expression that could go with it. You can go ahead and pause it now. All right, so I'm just going to do 2 for each. Of course, what you guys might have said may have been a little bit different. So 120 plus 36 is less than 1 million plus 1 million. I know you guys like to say you're 1 million plus 1 million. 120 plus 36 is less than 200 plus 200. 120 plus 36 is greater than 1 plus 1. 120 plus 36 is also greater than 100 minus 10. Next one, 120 plus 36 is equal to 156 plus 0. 120 plus 36 is equal to 36 plus 120. These are all different ones that you could have did, of course. Those that you might have said might have been a little bit different, but that is okay as long as they made sense. And they still made it true. So now, moving on. Today in our lesson, we're talking about being able to add a pair of 2-digit numbers when the ones digits have a sum that's greater than 10. So now, looking at this, I'm going to show you a strategy that we have used already in class. This strategy is where we break apart the tens and the ones of both numbers that have tens and ones. So looking at this, so the first thing that we have to do is we have to create an bond using both numbers. So that means we have to break apart both of these numbers into two parts, the tens and the ones. So 23 is 20 and 3. 59 is 50 and 9. So I'm going to add my tens together. 20 plus 50, or 2 tens plus 5 tens. That is 70. And then my 3 plus my 9, my ones. Well, 3 plus 9 equals 9, 10, 11, 12. Remember, if you have to, count on. So 70 plus 12 equals... Now 70 plus 12 equals... Some of you might get stuck on this part. One thing that I have been showing a lot of you to do is draw a little tape diagram. Draw a T for your tens and your O for your ones. Now let's look. Let's count our tens. 7 tens plus 1 10. Well, 7 tens plus 1 10 equals 8 tens, because 7 plus 1 equals 8. Now 0 ones plus 2 ones. 0 plus 2 equals 2 ones. Okay. So now we know that 23 plus 59 is equal to 82. Now, I showed you all the different steps in here. Whenever I was solving it, I solved it all at one time. So looking at this, we have 23 plus 59. What we did was we broke it apart into 20 and 3. And then we had 59 into 50 and 9. Then, remember we circled the multiples of 10 and we added them to make 70. Then we circled the ones to make 12. Just like this. Now, then we had to add them together to make 82. Now remember, you can look at it as a place value chart as well. Your 10s right here and your 1s right here. Now moving along, I'm going to show you another one. So looking at this, we're going to use our steps that I've kind of showed you to try to solve this one. Now watch as I solve this one by myself. I'm modeling this for you. So remember, the first thing we're going to do is break apart both numbers as tens and ones. So 18 is 10, 8. 53 as tens and ones is 50 and 3. Then we have to add our tens. Well, what are our tens that we need to add? Well, that's this 10 right here. That's 1 10. And this 50, which is 5 tens. 10 plus 50. Well, 1 10 plus 5 tens. 1 10 plus 5 tens. 1 plus 5. Oh, that's 6, which 6 tens is 60. Which 10 plus 50 equals 60. Now we have to add our ones. 8 plus 3. What is 8 plus 3? Well, 8, you can count on 8, 9, 10, 11. What is 60 plus 11? Now remember, we can always do our number bond. Not our number bond, excuse me. Our place value chart to help us. So our tens and our ones. Okay, so I'm going to do my ones first. So 1 1 plus 0 ones is 1 1. 6 tens plus 1 10 is, well, 6 plus 1 is 7, so it's 7 tens. So that's 71. Now, if you are just starting to do this number bond strategy and you need a little bit of help, you can always check your work by drawing a picture. So you can draw 18, your 1 10 and your 8 ones. 3, 4, 5, oopsies, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then my 53, the bottom, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Then 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, if you're going to draw a picture to check, you always have to count your ones to see if it can make a new 10. If it can make a new 10, you circle those 10 circles. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Up. This that I'm circling right here is 10. So now there is this 10 right here that we just circled. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 71. So you get the same answer. All right, so now I'm going to do another one. 27 plus 75. Again, you break apart both numbers. 27 is 20 and 7. 75 is 70 and 5. You add your tens together. What are our two tens? Whisper it to me. What are our two tens? Right, 20 and 7. 20 plus 7. Well, 20 plus 7, 2 tens plus 7 tens. Well, 2 plus 7 is 9. So it means 9 tens is 90. We have to add our 1, 7 and 5. What is 7 plus 5? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 90 plus 12. Now I'm going to draw my place value chart. Remember, you don't have to. This is just in case you need this. So I'm going to look at my ones first. 2 ones plus 0 ones. Well, 2 plus 0 is 2, so it's 2 ones. Take our tens. 1 10 plus 9 10. 1 plus 9. Well, 9 10. Well, that's 10. So 10 tens. So it's 100, 2. Now again, if you're not very comfortable about just doing the number bunch strategy, I still want you to do this strategy that I'm showing you. But check it by doing a picture. So you can do 27, 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Then you do 75, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I have to count it. My ones to see if it makes new 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I said 10, so I know that this right here is 10. Now I have to count it to see my answer. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 101, 102. So the answer is 102. Good. So now we're going to do this together. You all should have a sheet that starts with 66 plus 28. My virtual friends, and then my friends are in class. The sub is going to go ahead and pass this paper out to you, and we're going to do this together. So now looking at this, 66 plus 28. Remember, write your name in the middle, and we're going to be looking at this one together. So 66 plus 28. Remember, first thing you do, you break apart both numbers. So break apart both numbers. 66 is what? 60 and 6. That should be two numbers break apart, 66 and 2. What about 28? What two numbers should we break apart 28 and 2? 20 and 8. So now we have to add our tens. What are our tens that we're going to add? Right, 60 and 20. So let's add 60 and 20 together. Well, 6 tens plus 2 tens. What is 6 tens plus 2 tens, or 6 plus 2? Well, that's 8. So 8 tens is 80. Then you have to add our 1 together. 6 ones plus 8 ones. 6 ones plus 8 ones. Well, we have to add those together. Well, I'll put 8 in my brain and count on. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You have to add 80 plus 14 together. Figure out what that equals. Remember, we can do the place value chart to help us add these together. 4 ones plus 0 ones. Well, 4 ones plus 0 ones is 4, because 0 plus 4, or 4 plus 0 equals 4. And let's do our tens. 8 tens plus 1 10. Well, 8 plus 1 equals 9, so it's 9 tenths. So the answer is 94. Let's double check it with a picture. So let's draw a picture on the side. So 66. Let's draw that. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66. Now 28. 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So then we have to count it to see if the ones make a new 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So then we have to count it 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. This counts. 90, 91, 92, 93, 94. So yep, we get the same thing. So check, it's the same thing. So now, let's do another one. Alright, so now we have to break apart 34 and 67 apart. What is 34 going to be broken up into? Right, 30 and 4. What about 67? What are we going to break apart 67 up into? Right, 60 and 7. So what is the next thing that we need to do? What do we need to do next? Right, we have to add our tens together. So let's add 30 and 60 together. 30 plus 60, or 3 tens plus 6 tens equals 9 tens, which is 90. Then we have 4 and 7. 4 ones plus 7 ones, so 4 plus 7 equals 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Again, you don't have to do this place value chart, but this can help a lot of you to figure it out. So now we have 1 1 plus 0 ones. Well, 1 plus 0 is 1, so that's 1 1. So let's get our tens. 9 tens plus 1 10. Well, 9 plus 1 equals 10, so it's 10 tens. So our answer is 101. Again, we could check our work by doing a picture. You only have to do a picture if you feel a little bit uncomfortable or not too sure about doing the sum bind strategy. So 34 is 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. And 67 is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67. So now I have to count to see if my ones make a new 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, we have a new 10. Then I have to count it to see. 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Sorry, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 101. So check, we get the same answer. All right, so now moving right along, we're just going to do this next one. All right, so for this next one, let's see. So now we're going to look at this one. So again, what is the step that we're going to, our first step? Break apart the two numbers. So 29 is 20 and 9. 63 is 60 and 3. We're going to add our tens. 20 plus 60, which is 80. There's 2 tens plus 6 tens. There's 8 tens, which is 80. Then we're going to add our ones. 9 plus 3. Well, 9 plus 3 equals 12. 80 plus 12. Well, 2 tens plus 1 10 equals 2 tens. I'm sorry. Let's start that over. 2 ones plus 0 ones is 2 ones. And then 1 10 plus 8 tens equals 9 tens. So it's 92. Now, let's double check that with a picture. So 29, 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. And 63, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 61, 62, 63. Now again, I have to count my ones to see if it makes new 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, so let's see. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 91, 92. So check, we get the same thing. Again, at any point, if Ms. Perkins is going too fast, or if you might have not have heard something, you need to pause it, maybe go back a little bit, you can. So now, let's move to this next one. This one you're going to do on your own. So I want you to go ahead and you can pause the video now and solve 48 plus 55, doing the number line strategy where you break apart both numbers. You can go ahead and pause the video now. Alright, so you should have broken apart both numbers. 48 is 40 and 8. 55 is 50 and 5. You're going to add your tens together, which is 90. Then you should have added your 1 together. 8 plus 5 equals 13. 90 plus 13. Well, 90 plus 13. Well, 3 ones plus 0 ones is 3. 9 tens plus 1 tens equals 10. So that'd be 103. So now we're going to check with our picture. So that's 48, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. And then 55. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55. Now we have to see if we can make a new 10 with our ones. On 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We sure did make a new 10. So it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 100, 203. We get the same answer. All right, I want you to go ahead and put a check if that is what you got. So now at the very bottom, we have Tom's thinking. I want you to go ahead and pause this video, and I want you to look at Tom's work to see if what he did correct and what he might need a little bit of help on. If you see a mistake, go ahead and fix it. All right, so now let's look at this. Now, if you did not get a chance to discuss about what are some good things that Tom did and some things that he might need to work on, you can pause it again to discuss what you noticed that Tom did correct and what he did not do correct. You can pause it now if you need to do that. So now remember the first thing that we need to do is break apart both numbers 10 ways. So he did that. 59 was 50 and 9. 24 is 20 and 4. Then he added the 10s together. 50 and 20 to make 70. Then he added 9 and 4 to make 13. So now he got 70 plus 13, and he got 73. Does that make sense? Does 70 plus 13 equal 73? Does 73 make sense as the answer? No, because we already have 7 tens. We had to add one more 10. So no, that doesn't make sense. Because remember, we have 3 ones plus 0 ones. That's 3 ones. Now we have 1 10 plus 7 tens. Well, 1 plus 7 equals 8. So I should put 83. All right. So then you can go ahead and put that sheet away. My friends are in class. You put that in your stop folder. Now, let's look at your problem set. Your problem set is on page 75. You're going to do the front and the back. Okay, so page 75 is the front. Page 76 is the back. I want you to go ahead and you're going to do these on your own. Okay, the ones that are still having some trouble with doing the number bond strategy that I just taught you today, go ahead and you have to do at least A, C, and E as a number bond strategy I taught you today. You have to do at least those 3 as a number bond strategy. If you can do all of them as a number bond strategy, perfect. Okay, so do page 75 and page 76. Once you have done, you can go ahead and unpause the video, and I'll show you the answers so you can double check your work. All right. So now, for front page 75, you should have gotten A, you should have got 91. B, you should have got 91. C, you should have gotten 83. D, you should have gotten 83. E, you should have gotten 93. F, you should have got 91. Of course, if you needed to check like your work to kind of like see where you made a mistake, you can go ahead and pause the video if you need to do that. And then on the back page, turn it to the back. For A, you should have gotten 61. B, you should have gotten 93. C, you should have gotten 96. D, you should have gotten 82. E, you should have gotten 96. F, you should have got 95. All right. So now, go ahead and move your flag to page 77. We're not doing our X ticket just yet, but have it open to that page. So now let's talk about what the rule is for each side. So I want you to take a moment. Let's just look at this circle right here on the left. Let's talk about what do all four of these number sizes have in common? I want you to go ahead and pause the video to discuss what do they all have in common. All right, so now there's a few things that we see they have in common. We see that they're adding. Okay, so they are all adding. Well, another thing that I see they all have in common is that the ones places are not, whenever you add the ones place together, it does not make a new 10. So the ones place is less than 10. So ones are less than 10. So now I want you to go ahead and look at all four of these to see what do they have in common. What do they have that's the same? You could pause the video to where you could talk about what do they have all that's the same. Well, let's see. Looking at this, I see 7 ones, 4 ones, 6 ones, 8 ones, 5 ones, 9 ones, 3 ones, 8 ones. Well, this is that the ones, when you add them together, it's greater than. It's greater than 10. All right, so now we are going to, now we're going to do our exit ticket. So the exit ticket is on page 77. Exit ticket is on page 77. And I want you to go ahead and I want you to solve these, please. Once you're done, you can tear this page out of your workbook and get out a crayon so you can check your work. Remember, you must show your work. You may pause it down. All right, so now for your exit ticket, it is for A, you should have gotten 86, and B, you should have gotten 94. Go ahead and check your work. Make sure that you have it correct. With that crayon, put a check if you got it correct. If you got something wrong, use that crayon to show what you got wrong. Then put your exit ticket in your stop folder, please. All right, guys, that's it for the math lesson. I will see you again for your social living lesson. Bye.